Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us for our 2:30 streaming show. I'm Jamie French. Robinson Miles has the day off. We're going to start with a few news stories, and then we'll get you over to your weather with Chief Meteorologist Jeff Lyons. We're going to start first in Dale. We are following a couple big stories today, but this one right now in the tri-state. Fire investigators are trying to figure out what caused a house fire that sent one man to the hospital in Dale. It broke out a couple hours ago at a home on the intersection of Oak and Wallace. Spencer County dispatchers tell us that an elderly man was hurt in that fire, which may have been sparked by a kerosene heater. Now, we do have a crew on the scene. Our Leslie Chapman is there working to speak to neighbors and fire officials. Of course, we're going to have more tonight on 14 News. Meanwhile, we also still have a crew in Tell City today. Another large fire there that we are following. The site of a massive fire happened last night in Perry County. Here's a photo for you. The United Way was housed in this building, as well as Perry County News newspaper and Gypsy's Trunk thrift store. United Way officials tell us everything inside was destroyed, including donations for families for Christmas that they have been collecting. They're asking for new donations, and they're collecting Monday at Shergan's Center. They're trying to, of course, replenish that supply that they lost. They're also working on some long-term plans on how they'll move forward, since that was also their office. At this point, the cause of the fire is still under investigation, so we're going to have more on both of those fires tonight on 14 News. All right, let's get to another cool story. This one out of Evansville. The Evansville Fire Department is showing off its new K9. Check her out. We told you about Indy last month. Firefighters say she alerted crews to the presence of accelerants at a house fire. She is already off to a great start. Today, her handler, Patrick Moore, showed us how he trains Indy to do something like that. So far, he says that she's doing great. She's already excelling, and of course, she's a big fan favorite here in the community because she's just so darn cute. So we'll have more about Indy tonight on 14 News. And our last story for today, this one's pretty cool. Mayors from different counties all across the tri-state are taking part in the initiative in ringing the bell for the Salvation Army's Red Kettle campaign. Check it out. The three local mayors, Stephanie Terry from Evansville, Charlie Wyatt from Boonville, and Steve Lair, mayor of Mount Vernon, all took part in ringing the bell today. Mayor Stephanie Terry tells us how vital it is to take part of this initiative. She's always looking for ways to give back to the community, so she was able to do that this morning outside of the Civic Center. We'll have a closer look at all of what the mayors are doing during this holiday season to give back to their communities tonight on 14 News. All right, I am done yapping for you. Let's turn you over to the weather. We've had some snow falling this morning, so Jeff's going to let us know what else we can expect for the rest of the day. We'll be right back.
Stay informed on your local news and weather throughout the day by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows. At 8:30 a.m., get your First Alert forecast to plan the day ahead and catch up on the news that happened overnight with the 14 News Sunrise team. In the afternoon, get the latest headlines, forecasts, and a preview of the stories we're working on with the 14 First Alert streaming show at 2:30. And get an in-depth look at the 14 First Alert forecast so you're ready for the next big thing with the 14 First Alert weather show at 9 p.m. Watch the 14 First Alert streaming show that fits your schedule and works best for you, streaming on your phone.
All right, I'm Jeff Lyons. We are back now with the weather portion of the afternoon streaming show, and we got our snow last night. We call it verification when you actually measure what we said would happen. We were forecasting 1 to 2 inches across the tri-state. For the most part, that did come true, unless you were far north of Interstate 64. Officially 1.25 inches at Evansville Regional Airport, about the same in Henderson. We had a little band of heavier snow across western Kentucky, Owensboro, Hartford there, over 2 inches, and Central City, Greenville, right at 2.25 inches of snow. So that's what happened this morning. Now we need to look ahead, and we still have cloudy conditions out there, a little slushy in spots. That temperature never really got above freezing today, so we may see some black ice out there or refreeze. There is some sun in the works, at least over the next couple of days. Not a lot, but at least a little bit after our clear sky tonight. And then we focus on the weekend for perhaps more chances for snow. The radar pick right now, very quiet, of course, across the tri-state. We had all of our action this morning, and that snow and rain has now moved all the way into the East Coast states there, from Boston all the way down to Washington, D.C. No winter alerts for anywhere close to us. I guess travel-wise, if you were heading into New England, you'd have to fly there, of course, to get there in time for the winter weather advisories up there. For the hour by hour, we will remain cloudy overnight, partly to mostly cloudy. A little clearing there, and then we see a mix of sun and clouds tomorrow. It is cold out there, 24 degrees our current temperature right now. Couple in that northwesterly wind, and that cuts that feels like temperature down into the teens. We have high pressure to blame for that. It will move to our south, pulling down a northwesterly wind tonight. And then very briefly, it kicks up a south wind tomorrow. So we are going to warm up to near 40 degrees. Thing of it is, we have another clipper system coming in, a fast-moving cold front out of Canada, Alberta. As that comes through, it will be dry, but it will reinforce the colder air. So we go back down into the low 30s, upper 20s for highs on Thursday. Friday we moderate a bit, but not much, as temperatures try to get a footing around 37 degrees. Over the weekend we have near 40 on Saturday and Sunday, and then another chance for rain and or snow coming our way on Sunday. So let's look at that. We are dry all the way through Saturday. And the GFS model, consistent with yesterday, there is a slight difference though, and it has shifted the rain snow line farther south. Under that scenario, most of the tri-state then would see some snow if it comes true, and then all of that would move out. And just as a comparison here, I always like to show you the two models that we are looking at to put the forecast together. The European model also signaling a chance for some wintry weather on Sunday. Its rain snow line a little farther north, in fact bisecting the tri-state. So that is a big discrepancy. Right now, I'm leaning more toward the GFS. It did a pretty good job with what happened today, and sometimes when that thing gets on a roll, we get pretty decent forecast off of the GFS. Keep in mind, of course, that is Sunday, today's Tuesday, so we still have a lot of wiggle room for things to flip-flop and change. But anyway, we're keeping an eye on Sunday, and you should too. For tonight, we will drop back to 20. We have some clearing skies out there. And again, watch out for refreeze out there, or what we call black ice, that little skim that is very slick out there on bridges and overpasses. Up to 41 tomorrow with a few clouds and that wind out of the southwest at 5 to 10, helping get us up there. And then on the next 7-day forecast, we have a return to mid to upper 30s. Keep in mind, our normal high this time of the year should be around 50 degrees. So we are still in search of some better weather out there. I will have the full forecast for you today on 14 News at 4, 5, and 6, and I'll see you back here on the First Alert Weather Show at 9. Have a good afternoon and be careful.
By downloading the 14 News app and the 14 First Alert Weather app on your smart TV by using the 14 News streaming app, and stream anytime on Facebook.